everybody, this is Dave with Wags Automotive in Kansas City, and I know I haven't been on here for a while. I've been moving and I'm up in Kansas City again right now, and I got a vehicle here that we're going to sell, and I want to show it to you guys real quick. It's another one of these Chevy trucks from the 70s era. This one's a 71. It's a really nice truck, and I want to show it to you guys, and we're going to put it up for sale. So if you're interested, you can contact me through Facebook, through YouTube, or actually Facebook. Wags Automotive on Facebook. You can contact me that way, or Dave Wagner on Facebook, I guess. And let me know if you're interested in it. It'll be on Facebook for sale, on Facebook Marketplace as well. So anyhow, this is a really nice truck. I've seen some of the stuff that's out there. I'm really surprised at the price of it, but we're going to show you this one, and if you guys are interested, like I said, tell me what you think, and if you like it, let me know. If you like this video, let me know. Thanks. All right, let's take a look. I'm inside the garage right now because it's really windy, and I'm going to go outside here because I got to get out there and look at the truck, and with the wind blowing the way it is, I'm going to have to talk really loud. So I hope I'm not too loud for you guys, but I'll do the best I can. All right, let's go look at this truck. So this is a 1971 C10. It's not quite as nice as the green and white one that I sold, but it's still a really nice truck. One thing I like about it is it's got some really cool patina going on with it, and as you can see, the paint's still pretty nice. You know, this is one of these trucks you could drive it and leave it as it is, or you could, you know, do a little work on it and make it even nicer, or you can restore it. You know, it's kind of a blank slate, so you can decide what you want to do with it. But we'll walk around it real quick, take a look at it, and as you can see, it's in pretty good shape. It's got an older restoration, probably around 15 years old. This truck came out of Branson, Missouri. So I hope that wind isn't too bad, guys. Hope you can hear me. But it came out of Branson, Missouri, and like I said, it's a nice truck. A gentleman owned it, and he restored it and drove it for a while, and then from what I understand, anyhow, he passed away, and his family sold it to another gentleman in this local area, and then that gentleman was going to work on it, and then he decided he lost interest in it, so he decided to sell it, and we bought it. And I can tell you a few things I've done to it. It's got some pretty nice looking wheels on it, Pacer wheels and Cooper tires, and they're pretty fat tires on it. The front ones are 235 70 15s. The back ones, I believe, are 295. Nope, they're 275 60 15s. Got 10-inch wheels on the back, 8-inch wheels on the front. It's a real nice clean truck. Let's take a look at the interior on it, get out of this wind a little bit. Okay, so here's the interior on it. Like I said, it is an older restoration. It's not perfect, but again, I'm not going to ask a super high price for it. I mean, I saw some of these trucks on the internet, what they're selling for, and I just couldn't believe it. But you can see the ceiling there, how nice it looks. This is probably what it looked like after they got it restored. You know, it's definitely in good shape. Definitely a good truck to be for someone to use as a fixer-upper, or just drive it and work on it as you drive it. It's got a little Alpine AM/FM cassette tape, which is a little older, but that's probably what they used back then. Down here you can see right there, someone made a little patch out of plastic for the heater box, which is broken, but again, that's something that can be fixed. It's not a big deal. All right, so again, we're looking at the inside of the truck. The carpet, I did replace that. It's got brand new carpet in it. It's real nice, looks real good, and we're gonna get some mats and put in it. Here's the rocker panel on the driver's side. As you can see, it's pretty clean, and I'll go underneath it here a little bit and tell you a little bit about what they've done to it underneath. And here's the seat. I really like this seat. They had it upholstered and had the Chevy bow tie upholstered into it. That's really cool. So, you know, it's not perfect. It's got a little mark in it right there, you know, but I mean, for what it is, it's a pretty clean seat. I like it. You know, I guess you could have the bottom reupholstered if you wanted to, and leave the top alone. It's kind of weird that the bottom's worse than the top. Usually the opposite, but again, it's the way it looks now. It's still pretty nice. Here's the door panel, and I'm not sure what's going on right there. Apparently somebody kicked the door or something. I don't know. They couldn't get in and out of the truck without banging it up, so I don't understand that, because the rest of the door panel looks great. It's really nice. It's got really nice armrests on it. Got these little piston locks on it. That's kind of cool. And this truck, again, inside here, it does not have any aftermarket gauges. It's got an oil pressure gauge and temperature and battery gauges, and all those work. I'll show that to you. Hey. And I've put new knobs on the headlight and the wiper motor. I put new knobs on that because they were both missing, so they're both brand new. The rearview mirror is a little bit jinky, but you know, you can buy those from LMC or some other truck place. They're pretty cheap. They're not that expensive to get. And we'll go around the other side, the passenger side, and look at it. All right, here it is from the passenger side. You can see in there, see the ceiling, how nice it looks. Like I said, this thing, whoever restored it spent a bunch of money on it. I mean, it's a really nice truck. It's in good shape. You know, it's not perfect, but again, you know, and here's a passenger door panel. It looks a little better than the driver's side does. It's got a couple chips in it there, but it ain't bad. You know, and this, I think this white is probably spray painted, so you could just, you know, sand that down and spray paint it white again and it'd be fine. And again, here's the driver's side rocker panel. It's in good shape. Here's a little clue right here what the truck looked like from the factory. It was a gold color, golden brown, I guess you call it. And again, you know, there's the roof. The roof looks real nice. You can see it in the sunshine in there. So it looks good. Real nice looking roof. And again, now that the sun's out, popping out a little bit, you can see the shine on the paint, you know. I buffed it out after we got it, and it's got a really cool look to it. I like the look of the patina on the truck like this. You know, it's got some of the original paint coming through right there, so that's kind of cool looking. And now let's look at some of the bad stuff. You know, it's got little dings in it. It's got one right here. And you know, I want to be honest with you guys to show you everything that's going on with this truck. It's got a little bit of rust right there on the corner of the door. It's a pretty small area. And in the back, again, it's got a little bit of rust there. Small area, nothing big, but the rocker panels, you can see they're nice all the way across. The bottom of the fender's nice. Well, I take that back. There's a little bit of bubbling right there, but that'd be a pretty easy fix if you got to it right away. And here's the bed side. It's got, I think somebody's probably done some body work. I don't know if they replaced any metal or not. There's a little bit of putty in there. So, you know, you could address that or leave it the way it is. This side's not too bad. We'll walk around here to the back of the truck. The tailgate, it's a little bit rough. It's got cracking paint right there and around the letters. They've put some pretty thick paint in there, and it's breaking loose. So, you know, that's a little rough. Not too bad, but again, you know, if I was going to keep this truck, or if I was buying it, I'd probably just go buy a new tailgate for it, because they're not that expensive. You can buy a new tailgate and have it painted to match the truck, and it'd look fine. The good thing about this truck is all the trim is on it, so you don't have to buy any trim. The trim's not perfect, but it's not bad. I mean, I've seen a lot worse. There's a little bit of cracking right here in the paint, probably some Bondo in there. There's a little bit of rust coming through on this side. You know, right here, there's a little hole. There's a little roughness right there. You know, but again, this stuff ain't bad. I mean, if you wanted to leave the truck the way it is with a patina, you could just weld metal in here and then kind of spray paint on it and then sand it down and make it match the rest of the truck, and it'd look fine. And both the cab corners, I think I showed you the other cab corner, they're nice. This one here is nice. You know, there's no damage to the cam cores, no rust. There's a little bit of rust on the bottom of the door on this side. A little bit of rust on the front of the door, and bottom of the fender right there is a little bit. But again, the truck ain't bad. You know, that's really all that's going on with the body, other than the inside of the bed. Well, actually, I take that back. Here's a little bit of cracking around the passenger side mirror. I'm not sure what's going on with that. I think they put some Bondo in there. I don't know, maybe they hit the mirror and shoved it in right there, and so it's kind of Bondoed a little bit. But again, that's, you know, that's part of the patina of the truck. It's not that bad. Now let's look inside the bed. The floor of the bed is pretty rough. It's got some rust holes in it, as you can see. But the rest of the bed, I'll walk around here and show it to you guys. The rest of the bed is really nice. not bad. The inside of the tailgate, but again, I'd put a new tailgate on if it were mine, if I was going to keep it. It's got a spare tire holder here, I guess, this bolt. I'm assuming that's what that is, but you can see the rest of the inside of the bed is not bad. So, you know, if someone wanted to buy a bed pan and put in it, you know, that wouldn't be too big of a deal. They bolt in this. I don't know how much you guys know about these trucks, but you can see, like right along in here, there's bolts. There's a bolt there, there's a bolt there, and there's a couple bolts here. So all this, there's bolts all around that fender well there. See that? So this whole bed bolts together. If you look up in the corner up there, if you can see it up there in the corner, there's bolts up there and there's bolts on that side. This whole bed bolts together. So you can actually buy the floor pan, the bed floor, from LMC or another truck place, and you can unbolt this one and bolt a new one right in. You don't even have to do any welding or nothing. It's just bolt in and unbolt it and bolt a new one in, you know. And I guess if you wanted to, there's a little bit of roughness around the fender wells on both sides. You can buy new fender wells for it too, but they're not too bad. They'd probably be fine the way they are. But anyhow, it's still a pretty good looking truck. You know, this is probably the worst part of it's the bed, but it ain't bad. It's still usable the way it is, you know, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. Again, this is not a perfect truck. It's just a nice truck. Now let's go underneath the hood and we'll look at the engine. I got some interesting stuff to tell you about this engine. So this engine's been rebuilt, and it's got a cam in it. It's got headers, and I can't tell you what's been done to the engine because I don't know, I'll be honest with you. But I will tell you that looking at it, it's got a Edelbrock RPM air gap intake, which was pretty expensive back in the day. It's got a 750 Holley 750 double pumper on it right there. I'm going to take this air cleaner off real quick and show that to you. Right there, it's got a Holley 750 double pumper on it, so it's got a pretty big carburetor on it. It's got a Davis unified ignition, HEI ignition on it, high voltage, and I put new plug wires on it, and I also put boots on the plug wires. You can see them down there. Heat sleeves to protect the header, the wires from burning on the headers. So I was trying to protect them from that. And it's got a nice Holley air cleaner on it with a reusable filter on it. Clean it and reuse it. It's got a really nice throttle connection on it with a, looks like a low car throttle cable in the back there. So it's real nice. I mean, someone spent some money on this thing. And another thing I want to show you here, if you can see it real quick, right down there, it's got Hooker competition headers. Now I can tell you guys, those headers are super expensive. They're like $500, $600 a set. So whoever built this engine was going to spend some money on it, you know, or did spend some money on it. It's got a chrome time and chain cover on it, which tells me it's been apart. Nice little chrome fuel filter, not one of them glass ones that likes to leak all the time. And we're going to go down here. We're going to look at the stamping number on the block, V0304TBC, and I'll decode that for you. But one thing I want you guys to note real quick is, if you know anything about small block Chevys, they have this number here, which is the stamping number from when the engine was assembled, and then they have a partial VIN down here that makes it a numbers matching motor if the VIN matches the VIN on the truck. Well, this truck, this motor, this block does not have a VIN number stamped on it, which I've seen this before. You don't see it very commonly, very often, but I have seen it, and I will show you. I've taken pictures of the date stamp and the casting number on the back of the block. I'll post those on there, and we'll talk about that. We'll talk about all this a little while later, so I'll explain all that to you a little while later. So anyhow, I'll explain why there's not a VIN number stamped on it. It's got a battery that we put in there last fall. It's got a disconnect right here. You can disconnect the battery, so you don't have to worry about the battery running dead if you don't drive it a lot. And one thing I really like about this truck, it's really cool, is you can still see the China marks from the factory on the firewall right there, CF10934, whatever that means. And there's something over here, I can't see a lot of it because some of it's been taken off, but it's hard to see. But then right down there, it says AT, which means automatic transmission. So this thing had an automatic transmission from the factory. That's kind of cool. And speaking of automatic transmissions, I'll get down here and you can kind of see the transmission down in there. And let me get my light going here. that helps any or not, but you can see down there the transmission. It's a 350 turbo transmission. I don't know if it's ever been rebuilt. I'm not going to say it has. It may have, I don't know. And I'll go back inside there in a minute. Oh, and another thing I wanted to tell you guys, the wiring in this, you can see the wiring along the firewall there, and it comes out under here. I took the whole wire harness on this thing was all messed up whenever I bought this truck. And so I took the whole wiring harness out, I organized it, I retaped it, and it's even still got the gutter up here, the wiring gutter, and it's got the wiring here for the temperature gauge, and it's got a actual oil pressure gauge in the back that goes to the dash. You saw that. And so I've got a couple loose connectors here that would have gone to the factory oil pressure senders, so and water temperature senders. So those are up there, but you can see, like again over here, you can see the wiring running down. It's all been retaped. It's all nice looking, and I routed it down to the starter down there so it wouldn't be anywhere near the headers, so it wouldn't damage them. The wiring with the heat from the headers. It's got I think a 3-core radiator in it. It is a factory air, but we have the AC compressor for it. I just took it off because it wasn't hooked up when we bought the truck, and I wanted to work on it. So I think we have that. I'm not sure, but I'll have to look. But you know, if you are interested in the truck and you buy it, be sure and ask about it, because we'll look and see if we can find it. I can't remember. And then it's got a condenser here, so it's got a lot of the parts for the AC. I mean, you could hook it up if you wanted to. It wouldn't be a big deal. And let's go over here and look at the engine identification. Right here you can see it's a 350 4-barrel. That was from the factory. So that was the original engine that was in the car. Automatic transmission, of course. So you can see that. And this truck, the guy that we bought it from, he told me that he bought it down in Branson, like I said, but apparently it spent some time at McConnell Air Force Base in Wichita, Kansas. So I'm guessing it's probably a Midwest truck. It's been around the Midwest pretty much its whole life. And let's go back in here. I'll show you the miles on the odometer. It says 58538. Now I don't know. I can't say that's original mileage. I'm not going to say that. I don't know. It may not be. It may be 158,000. But I mean, it's a nice truck. It's in good shape. It might be. I don't know. And then show you up here. I changed the oil on it. Put 2050 in it. I did a transmission service on it, and I put Type F fluid in it. And if you car guys know, Type F fluid gives you a little harsher shift, harsher shift than GM Dextron fluid does. So I like to put Type F in these vehicles because it makes them shift better. So that's what's in it. So you know, if it needs transmission fluid, you can add that to it. And all right, now let's go underneath of it. I want to show you the underneath side of it. We'll look at that, and then we'll start it up and let you hear it run. All right, let's go underneath. Oh. Okay, so underneath here, get my light. There we go. All right, underneath here we've got, if you can look right here, you can see this rocker panel, inner rocker panel has been replaced. So like I was showing you before, the rocker panels on it look real good. That's because it's got new inner and outer rocker panels on it. So whoever restored it back in the day, they welded in new rocker panels on both sides, and they also replaced these braces that go from the rocker panel to the frame. Them have been replaced. These are were new at the time they did that, and I can tell you that for sure because if you look at this rear one right here, you can see where it's kind of not really attached that well. And then right here is where the label was from my manufacturer. So in this, I think this one's just been placed over the top of the old one, but I mean, it's solid. It's not going anywhere. There's your body mount. You know, they're older, but I think they were probably replaced at the same time the restoration was done. So they're starting to crack a little bit. There's the front one. It's cracking a little bit, but they're not falling apart. They're just cracked a little bit. All right, let's go underneath here. And here's the floor pan of the truck. As you can see, it's in good shape. I mean, it's got some surface rust on it, but there's no holes in it anywhere. So it's in pretty good shape. There's your transmission, your turbo 350. It has a little bit of a leak right there where the speedometer cable goes in. That's just an O-ring. You pop this bolt off right here, and you pull this out, and there's an O-ring in there. You just put a new O-ring in it, and that'll seal it up. But again, like I said, the transmission, it's a little bit dirty, so I can't say it's been rebuilt, but I don't think it's high miles either, because it looks like it's in pretty good shape. There's the other side, if you can see it, the transmission up in there, and you know, we'll go over here to the passenger side, and we'll look at the floor pan. Again, on the passenger side, that front brace is new, was replaced when the truck was rebuilt. And then we've got a new inner rocker panel again, and we've got this new brace in the back. Again, you can see the spot where the label's still on it from the manufacturer. So all that's already been done. You know, if you buy this truck, I would probably get underneath here and clean this up a little better, and you know, seal it up, put some rust killer on it and seal it up, make sure it's going to be okay and last out. But I think it's going to last probably a long time. Hopefully whoever buys this truck will be able to keep it inside and, you know, just use it on nice days. But I mean, it's up to you. It's got newer shocks on it. They were probably put on when it was restored. I don't know. And again, you can see the headers under here. And let's come back here to the back. It's got dual exhaust, 2-inch. I think that's 2-inch exhaust. And I believe these are Flowmasters. Let me look and see. Yes. Yeah, it's got Flowmasters on it. You can see those. So those are some pretty high dollar mufflers. And it's got the factory 10-bolt rear end in it, I believe it is. It's coil sprung. It's not leaf sprung like the other truck I had was. Again, here's the bottom side of the bed. You know, I just want to be honest with you guys. It's got one of the braces here is rusty, but like I said, you can buy this entire bed. The oil pressure's up there quite a bit, so you know, you can see it's working fine. And you know, like I said, it's a nice truck. I hope it goes to somebody. I mean, the green and white one went to a really great guy. You know, and if you need me to deliver it, I can probably do that. Just let me know. Oh, by the way, the seals around the doors, they're all new too. So they're in good shape. You know, you don't have to worry about them. And the truck, it was raining a couple days ago. The truck was sitting outside and the carpet's not wet. So as far as I know, it's not getting any water inside the truck. So that's good. But again, what I was going to say was, you can contact me through YouTube or Facebook, Dave Wagner or Wags Automotive. I think I got 2 Facebook pages for some reason. I don't know. But anyhow, you can contact me and you know, we can talk about it. I can give you a price. We can kind of talk about a little bit what's going on with it. If you got any questions, feel free to ask. You know, on YouTube, ask me whatever questions you want to ask about it. But as you can see in here, you know, it's a nice truck. Let me do this real quick. Hold on. You can tell she sounds real good. I've been a mechanic for a long time, and in my professional opinion, the carburetor on this thing is probably more than it needs. It's a double pumper, and you don't normally need a double pumper carburetor for the street. So I'm not sure why it's on there, but it was what was on there when I bought it. One thing I would recommend, whoever buys it, is probably put a smaller carburetor in a 600 or 750 vacuum secondary, not a double pumper. I think it would run a lot better with one of those on there. But I'm not going to replace it because it's what's on it and it runs great. So, and somebody may want to keep the double pumper on. They may want, for all I know, you may want to race this truck. I don't know. It'd probably be a good one to do that with. Put a positive traction unit in, it'd probably be a good racer. But anyhow, guys, I'm going to sign off here. I appreciate you watching my video, and I'm going to have a lot more videos coming up. Like I said, I've been moving to a new location, so I'll reveal that to you guys here pretty quick, and start to work on my cars once I get my shop cleaned up and organized. And I got a lot bigger shop than I used to have, so I think you guys will like what I got coming. And I appreciate you new subscribers. I appreciate you old subscribers. You know, and I promise you I'm going to be back on here real soon, and we're going to show you some videos of some of the stuff I have. All right, so here's one more look at the engine. Now that it's nice and warm, you can hear the ticking a little bit, but it ain't bad. But anyhow, like I said, you probably do a valve adjustment on it and replace that carburetor, put a smaller carburetor on it, it'll run like crazy. So anyhow, I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll talk to you down the road. Thanks for watching the video. Okay guys, we're gonna see if this thing has any power. Let's see what she does. She's a one-legger. Let's see what happens.